What up, everybody? It's Ponter here, and today we've got a special game. It's a match mode game, played on Hometown quite recently, like in the last few days, and it ends up being a 4v4, and I end up playing Air, which generally I like playing in match modes, especially when I'm not up against Wally. And we'll just take a look at these teams. The teams are pretty good. Actually, almost perfectly balanced, I would say. We've got Wally on support, and he's just going to be a rock. We've got General Lennon playing armor, and we got Indie Boy, who's a relatively new player playing Inf. That's going to be kind of our weak point. And then on the USA side, good player is going to end up playing Air. Bravo is going to be on armor, Diommer's support, and Kickapoo on Inf. So Bravo is going to be their weak player, and we'll see exactly what that means as the game unfolds. And in terms of matchups, I definitely rather go up against Diommer than Wally, but Diommer's no slouch when it comes to Air. And I would say good player is a little better at Air than me. And really, what I want to show with this game is how important it is to yell at your team and to make calls. And it's kind of in a lot of cases it was the Air player making calls back in the day. I know that seems like a little wonky, but the Air player generally sees the map a little bit more than other players. In this case, just because of the makeup of this team, I have to make the calls because General Lennon and Indy have very little experience playing match modes, and Wally is not a very talkative player, so he's going to silently do well, but he's not going to call the games. And right off the bat, we get to a great start, just getting completely wiped by an air-to-air in the first 2 minutes. You know, that's typical. I blew my flares trying to kill the AA. And, you know, parking above infantry in the open trying to kill it never ends well. So that was nice. And they push bridge really hard. And this is what, you know, this is very newbie right here. Rolling up heavies across the town. I mean, I guess you can get away. He's not going to get punished for this. Because we have no inf in town other than their inf, which is awful. And I've been completely wiped. And luckily, good player is going to have to deal with Wally, and he's going to have just as tough a time surviving as I do. And he gets cleaned up pretty heavily. Now, I've slightly recovered, and really, this is what I'm going to be doing the whole game. And this is kind of, like, I'm not going to be yelling on comms, but luckily in this way, you can actually see me telling people what to do, just because... You know, I know what needs to be capped, and I'm just gonna keep yelling to be advanced. You know, advance here, advance there, constantly. And you know, if they were better, if I wouldn't have to do that, I think, if the team was good. But you know, we have slightly newer players, and also people are microing all over the map, like. You know, so it does help your team a little bit just to send them a signal, and you know, marking drops coming in. That's good practice. Yeah, so it's helpful. And oh yeah, well, let's just watch this happen. Now, killing Infant Open with light arty coming down is dangerous because shit like that happens. So I lose one chopper. Of course, I don't learn my lesson, and I think I got hit by Kickapoo's direct arty or one of those light arty. So I'm down 2 choppers. So that's pretty infuriating from like either team killing or improbable direct arty. I don't know, you know. But on one hand, the light arty gives you line of sight, so you kind of want to jump on the inf when there's when that happens. But you know, to lose 2 choppers to that shit is pretty brutal. And you know, again, I haven't learned my lesson. I'm still attack grounding air, but look at that. There's an air-to-air right there. And I'm guessing Diarmor or Gut player, because these guys both love doing air-to-airs. One of them expected me to go for that beat-up heavy anti-air, and I just got lucky. And like that was a no-skill air-to-air dodge. We're going to be keeping track because I think Diarmor was very excited by the first air-to-air, and he starts throwing down a lot of those, and that's going to become very important later on in this match. So we'll see. So there's another air-to-air. So it must be two players throwing him down because that was like right after the other one, and I dodged that one. Again, that was a lucky dodge because I was flaring out, and that's a good lesson to learn for players who want to air-to-air. Like, don't drop an air-to-air where you know the air player is going to be flaring, based on, you know, if he's diving in an anti-air, you might not want to throw one down. And I'm doing some split stuff here. You know, while he's begging for support, we kind of don't have a lot of ground support at gas for the whole game. Like, there's a lot of, like, we got drops over here from both the armor and the infantry player, which I think is a little unnecessary. I'm staying there, giving line of sight, and of course I forget about that chopper and die. You know, that's typical. It's pretty hard to play split sometimes. And yeah, some more wasted TA. Like, don't drop clusters just randomly in town when you're not pushing. You know, there's better things to spend TA on. And once again, Bravo's just YOLOing into town, and I'm kind of not there to deal with him. I'm busy killing Inf in the woods. And this is going to be a huge handicap for them, is the Bravo is just incapable of splitting up units, and just doing the noob. Like, one light tank and a heavy tank parked back here is all you need in town for USA. You don't need anything more. And just taking bridge as armor, allocating a lot of resources to bridge as armor on the USA side is dumb. Of course, we're also blobbing a lot of heavy tanks here when we don't need them. But in response, like, if you're getting blobbed, you might as well blob back, I guess. And, you know, we do have a heavy tank over here. We need this flank. That's mission critical. So again, I'm asking for that, and my armor player is going to oblige me. And this is an interesting, just very questionable TA use this entire game. Like, who, I guess, like, are you dropping that for the meme? Like, that's a meme TA, I would say, to kind of, like, show people, hey, like, your tank hasn't moved in 10 minutes, so I'm just going to drop this stupid bomb on it. But pretty dumb idea. And again, just look at this. And Kickapoo's also just piling in with APCs and infantry and ATs. So you got to respect that. You know, an inf player on our team really should have had some ATs in here to help out, because, you know, that would have shut down this heavy tank blobbing immediately. Just having an AT in one of these buildings, like this building is awesome for that. Instead, they're putting ATs in there, which is not good. I just look at this brutal tick. Like, we've lost Sawmill. Like, the game is almost over, and we managed to take back gas. Again, these drops critical for line of sight to tell us that, hey, it's okay to take this. And they're never going to have a good armor position because their armor player is clueless. And I don't know what that air-to-air was trying to aim at, but... And good players having a great time against Wally. This is why I hate it. I hate playing against him. He's so damn good at sniping scouts. It's really hard to deal with him. And yeah, we're kind of losing the drop war. And another thing that I didn't do this game was give TA to the infantry player. I just had no confidence in him to actually drop properly. Like, I'd rather give it to General Lennon because I knew he would do drops and micro them decently. But that means we're definitely going to lose the drop war. Although, on the other hand, Bravo doesn't do drops, so that probably is going to win us the drop war on the in our favor. This would be a juicy target. I'm calling that out. I don't think it actually gets hit. But we start coming back, ever so slightly. We have a long way to go, but we also have a lot of time, so it's no need to panic. Finally, Bravo decides to send stuff to gas. Obviously, he's going unsupported. But I have such a target-rich environment. And yeah, this is incredible. Just incredible. Like, I pool on General Lennon, thinking I would get some good return on the investment. Wally pools as well. This costs about 70 TA, so just think of all the things you could do with 70 TA. He killed 2 forts, I think, and maybe a beat up tank for 70 TA. I didn't even kill a tank. Just 2 forts. Just baffling why you would do. And here's another air-to-air. This is Bravo's fault. Again, I get lucky. Bravo should have just stayed there and parked. Like, those tanks are going to die anyways. He must have seen the air-to-air coming in. If I would sack my tanks to let them get an air-to-air. And yeah, I'm never going to pool General Lennon again. Could have done a nuke. You could have done clusters and paradrops for that TA. That's what I would have done. Or clustered and dropped tanks over here. Could have dropped tanks over here. All sorts of stuff could have been done with that TA instead of just wasting it on fabs. Heavy air supports. Just all sorts. And yeah, I'm doing a little bit of split action here. This is just for the sake of line of sight, basically, and to dissuade tanks from charging across. And we're fighting it out over here with their inf. Kickapoo's doing a great job of just surviving, but this sniper is actually doing work, and that's incredible. And once again, another air-to-air. This one I see. Generally, I try to play at about this level, and it's pretty easy to see the air-to-airs coming in. My choppers are facing this way, so I can easily flare out of that. And I claim I baited. I was kind of expecting an air-to-air in this situation, so I was just ready for it. And again, that's another 10 TA wasted trying to get me. And the chopper stack is looking pretty dangerous now. Like, I'm getting ranked up. Starting to scale. I'm still giving points to General Lennon just for lack of better option. But maybe I should have just given it to Wally. We at least gotten a nuke or something. And yeah, things are looking a little more stable. Like, we're still losing. We're still losing pretty badly. Like, we don't have a good hold on Sawmill. Gas station is completely locked down by them. Like, finally, Bravo has reallocated. And this is just a strong, look, they have line of sight with the chopper, 2 heavies forting, 2 AA. Like, this is a pretty insurmountable position. So I make the call, we have to push town. Like, we're down. When you're down from USSR side on hometown, you got to push town. That was a nice TB. Especially this point, like, we have control of these woods miraculously. You have to push this point to get the tick back on your side. Oh, and some counter drops. And that's what we try to do. At least they're not just taking the bridge from us right away. And we're also, picking at the you have to prevent them from fort. I didn't kill it in time, but at least we're not going to get all 3 forts up on that. And yeah, this is what we lacked a lot of, the heavy artillery. Like, I didn't see a lot of heavy artillery out of us. Saw a lot of fabs, not a lot of heavy artillery, and it just works really good in this position, especially against blobs of support and light vehicles. This is why you always, or you want to try to put choppers on hold fire so they don't shoot into buildings randomly. And you may notice also that the ATs were shooting at my choppers. I love it. Broken game, of course. And yeah, we're still losing brutally. I'm begging for an attack over here. Got a preemptive air-to-air. Let's see if that works. It's a little back. But he manages to get the scout. It doesn't matter. And yeah, I'm just killing buildings over here. The situation is desperate. And I think my scout, yeah, my scout it doesn't have the scan, so I just bug out. That's a lucky dodge. And Indie Boy dropping on points. I mean, I wouldn't do it if I were you, but he does decap this. I didn't notice that. But it's not really the right time to decap yet. We don't have enough control, and we haven't fucked this up enough. Like, what you want to do is cluster or TB this, cluster and TB this, have some inf in these buildings, and then you start decapping this, and then they won't be able to recap. And this is me killing the armor jeeps. You know, we'll just enjoy this for a moment. I think he sees it coming too and he tries to move him, but it's too late. And some nice naked tanks over here. And there's another air-to-air, I guess preemptively trying to protect the tanks. You know, just so many air-to-airs this game. You know, if you had fed Kickapoo that TA instead, or say use that for a nuke on town, I think that would have been better spent than just spamming air-to-airs against me. But that's just me coming as an air-to-air player. And yeah, there's another one. Nice try. Meanwhile, we're still losing badly. Like, it's not looking good. They locked this down. We managed to push all the way over here. Just YOLOing an APC. I guess they never forwarded dam. Nice air-to-air. And yeah, it's very nice of them not to fort dam. I mean, really all you need is 2 trucks on that to forward it up, and you'll never have to worry. And now is the time. We've clustered this. We need to push. And Diammer cocky as ever. Didn't want to win the game too fast, and that's gonna be a serious error on their part. And yeah, we've decapped this. We've got the tick lead coming in. I go to clear this, but I don't need to because of this this TB. So instead, I'm going to go back into town and help out. And yeah, we're clearing this. Look at Wally is doing drops. That's how desperate we are. And yeah, we're just killing this stuff. What we really need is some clusters over here, though. But taking gas is also clutch. And so I drop a cluster here, and I think we do some TBs or something up there eventually. But yeah, we get gas. Look at this lead now. Beautiful. And we just have to defend this. Again, I'm calling it out. Like, just park some units there. Like, anything you've got. Oh, the star goes down. So sad. But now is the time to sack your choppers. And actually, we'll come up to a very good sacking chopper moment soon. In the meantime, desperately holding. They're doing drops to defend this. And I tell the team to drop them if you got them. You know, with only 2 minutes left, you got to spend the TA if you have it. Managed to flare out of that, thank God. And Kickapoo is attacking gas. And this is, 4v4s. When you're in this position, it's really hard. Just because there's so few players, it's pretty hard to... And yeah, here's the TB clearing. Like, this is what you got to do. It's a cap town as USSR. It's so hard to push when you're in a 4v4 just because you have so few units. So when you get behind, it's pretty easy to defend the lead, or vice versa. It's hard to. That's an interesting tank push. Not so sure about that one. Here we go again. Dropping directly on points, not always advisable. You get crushed immediately. I rather drop on the buildings. Kind of increases your chances. And here we go. We have to defend this. Like, this is a make or break moment. If they cap town, it's pretty much GG for us. Like, the lead that we have is not sufficient. So I'm sacking choppers here. So just kill that. Oh, just barely. The scout's almost out, but I just have enough scan to pop that guy. I lose a lot in the process, but and Indie Boy is legging it, and you know you love to see it. You got your tightly packed Inf Blob going for it, and I'm just begging for him to keep it off, and just barely prevents the cap. Just so close. They get the cap there, and our lead is slowing down. Like we're still holding gas. We've lost that, so we just have the tiniest tick, and he goes for it, and he gets the decap, and the tick is on, way in our favor, powering it over. You know, Wally with the belated heavy air support, but just barely pushes us over. 0.4. So that decap was the clutch decap, I would say. So Indie Boy definitely got the win, but it was a team effort. I think the whole team was firing on all cylinders, other than Lennon's terrible TA use. And USA did an admirable job. You know, they all played well, other than Bravo. But yeah, that's a close one. Loving these match modes. We've had quite a few in the last week or so. So things are looking good on that side. But yeah, that's a game. You know, air supremacy is the way to go. And yeah, see you guys on the battlefield.